Hello everyone, in this video I will be explaining you the problem increasing array. So this is asked in this is a problem from CSES problem set, and it's an introductory problems type. So let's read out the problem. You are given an array of n integers. You want to modify the array so that it is increasing, that is every element is at least as large as the previous element. Okay, on each move you may increase the value of any element by 1. What is the minimum number of moves required? Okay, so yeah, minimum number of moves required is asked. So let's see the input. We have first line of containing an integer and denoting the size of the array, and then second line we have n integers. Okay, and we have to print the minimum number of moves in order to make the arrays increasing. Okay, and then n is the size of the array is 2 in 10 power 5, and then elements are 10 power 9. So if you multiply these two, it is 10 power 14. So the sum of the array elements will not be in an integer. It is going to overflow. So we should be taking that in long. So I'll be telling you what this means. So let's take the first case. We have 32517. We have everything is fine. Yeah. So this is the first test case wherein n is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then array is 3, 2, 5, 1, 7. So in the problem statement, what they have said is we have to make the array increasing. Okay, you have to make the array increasing. It is not like strictly increasing, but you should make the array increasing. So whatever what they have said is, let's say we have a previous element which is given as arr of I minus 1. I'm considering an arbitrary index I, which is from 0 till n minus 1, and my current element is, let's say, I. So if my previous element is greater than current element, so in that case my current element should be at least as equals to previous element. So you should be making your you should be making this way. Okay, so it's like in a sorted way. Okay, so you should be doing this thing. So when you're doing this, so in one operation you can increase the current element's value by current plus 1, not more than that. So in order to make to previous element, so you'll be increasing one by one. So number of operations that we'll be doing is you need to calculate, and you have to minimize the operations. You have to minimize the operation, so that they've asked. So let's try to check here. First element is 3, second element is 2. So as you can see, this is not an increasing. So in order to make this an increasing, you increase this element by 1. When you increase it, this is going to be 3, and this is a valid one. Even what they said, the previous element whatever is there, we should make the current elements at least to the previous element. So I've made that. So how many operations I've done? I've done just one operation. Okay, one operation I've done, so that it is the array is now 3 3. Next I'll take file element, so it is increasing, it is valid. Now I'll take this one. This is not valid. So what I'll try to do is, this one I'll try to increase 1. Okay, so it is going to be 2. So operation is one more operation you have done. It is not yet, so I'll make this as 3. So you have done one operation, still it is not. So you make this 4, you have done one more operation. Okay, still it is not, it is less. You will make this as 5, and you have done one more operation. So every time you increase, you are making operation. So as you can see, now this is like in increasing order. Last element you are taking 7, which is in increasing order. So how many operations you have done? You you have done 5 operations. So for this case, answer is 5, which is correct. Now what I'll try to do is, how do we solve this now is the question, right? So I'll start from here, okay, and I'll check if this element, because if there is only one element, it's like it is always increasing. First element does not make sense to compare with anything, because yeah. So if I compare with this, it's like I have this current element, I'll comparing with the first. So I'll see, here we have a decreasing order, okay. I'll check, here it is a decreasing order. So I'll make sure whatever previous element is there, I'll have to make, sorry, whatever previous element is there, I'll have to make sure is my current element if there is a decreasing. So this will happen. So in order to do that, how many operations that I'll be doing? So the previous element whatever is there, it is 3 minus the current element 2. So it's like one operation I'll be doing, right? Next I'll take 5, which is increasing only. Next I'll take 1. So here we have a decreasing order, right? So I should make sure this is at least equal to the previous element. So I'll make sure it is 5. So when you're doing this 5, how many operations you're doing? The previous element is 1 and the current was 1, so it is 4. Okay, so in this case you have done one operation, and in this case you have done 4 operation, and now it is 5. Next element you are taking, which is 7, which is in increasing only, so it is fine. So how many operations you have done? You have done 4 operations. Okay, so in this way we are trying to solve this problem. So yeah, and let's see the constant n was 10 power 5 order of, and then your elements xi, this was order of 10 power 9. So what I was telling is, the operations variable what we will be taking is, it should be of type long. Why? Because if you multiply this two, it is going to be 10 power 14, and your integer will hold at max 10 power 9 operations, right? I mean 10 power 9 number, not 10 power 14. That's why. So how do you make sure it is the case? So let's say in the array you have a first element as 10 power 9 and all remaining elements as 1. How many elements? This should be 10 power 5 elements. If you do that, so in operations, yeah, see, this is in decreasing order. So what's the value? It is 10 power 9 minus 1, right? So at least even if you make this 10 power 9, so this many operations you will be doing. Now again this is in decreasing order. Uh, again you will be adding this to 10 power 9 minus 1, because you will be doing this to 10 power 9. Okay, this many operations doing. So again this is decreasing, so it will go on up till when? See, you're starting from here, so it will go up till n minus 1 operation times, right? So n is what? 10 power 5. So it is going to be 10 power 5 minus 1 into 10 power 9 minus 1. Okay, so if you multiply this, it is 10 power 14. So obviously this should be in a long. So this is what I meant there. Let's try to code it up. In the input we have integer n. So we don't have test cases, so let's comment this out. We're calling a solve function once we have integer n, size of the array, then we have xi elements. Let's take one vector whose type is integer, x whose length is n. So we're taking the inputs of the vector. Now operations initially 0. As I said, we should be starting from index 1 till n minus 1 we have to go, and we need to check if the previous, which is I minus 1, is greater than x of I. If it is equal, so it's like in increasingly, right? So if this is the case, then your operations is going to be increased by whatever previous element is there minus the current element, and your current element will be set to previous element, right? So it's like now it is in increasing order. So when you come out of the loop, you just need to print the operations. Let's try to submit this. Oh shit. Yeah, increasing. So yeah, it got accepted. In this way you could have easily solved the problem. So it was an easy only, just you need to make sure we are comparing with one first index with the previous. Okay, like we'll start from one, and this logic is clear. And yeah, if you try to analyze the time complexity, this is taking O of n, just one loop, and space efficiency we are not using any extra space, so which is constant. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video.